Positive and normative analysis is the next part of freshman course for economics or basic economics. This is these two topics or positive and normative analysis are the two perspectives of economics can be analyzed. So economic analyzed from two perspectives. One perspective is positive economics, and then the next or another perspective is normative economics. So by these two methods or perspective, we can analyze economics. Positive economics is concerned with analyzing fact and attempt to describe the world as it is. This is what the positive economics means. So in positive economics, we only analyzing fact given fact depending on the gathered data. We analyze fact and then attempt to describe the world as it is, or the gathered data attempt to describe the gathered data as it is. This is a positive economics. It tries to answer the question what was in the past, what was happened, what is, and what will be. So it depends on the futures, in the past, present, and the futures, describing the fact depending on the gathered data and answer the question what happened in the last, what is the current situation, and what will be in the future. In this positive economics, there is no judgment. It does not judge a system as a good or bad, better or worse. So in positive economics, there is no judgment, only describing the gathered information or fact as it is known as positive economics. For example here, positive economics, there are three statements given here. The first sentence states that the current inflation rate in Ethiopia is 12%. The current inflation rate. So in these sentences, only describing the current inflation rate of Ethiopia. Whether in the inflation rate, current inflation rate in Ethiopia is good or not, does not describe, only describe the current situation or the current inflation rate in Ethiopia is 12%. Again, poverty and unemployment are the biggest problem in Ethiopia. Again, this sentence only describing the two problems of Ethiopia, poverty and unemployment. Whether these poverty and unemployment are bad or good in Ethiopian situation is not described by positive economics. So the life expectancy at birth in Ethiopia is rising. Again, this is only describing the birth rate of Ethiopia. Whether the birth rate of Ethiopia should be minimized or increased depending on the current situations. Only describing what is the life expectancy of Ethiopia. Is it decrease or increase? It is increasing enough. So such type of analysis is known as positive economics. Positive economics. Another point is on this positive economics, any disagreement on positive statement can be checked by looking into fact. If you disagree on this sentence, the option is to go to the fact, searching the fact depending on the life expectancy of Ethiopia, whether it is rising or decreasing. Poverty, is it poverty and the unemployment rate in Ethiopia is the biggest problem in Ethiopia? You can check it by collecting the fact. Again, the current inflation rate in Ethiopia is 12%. So whether this is below 12 or above 12, you can check by collecting the research done on the inflation rate in Ethiopia. Or from the any resource, you can check whether this 12% is 40 or 60. You can check from the fact of the informations, facts or informations. So in this situation, in positive economics, there is no judgment of these sentences. If you disagree or any disagreement on this situation is only checked by looking into fact on the stated statement. Another one is normative economics. Normative economics is deals with the question like what ought to be, yeah, what ought to be. There is alternate. It is best if the situation is this. It is not good if the situation is this. There is a judgment here in normative economics. What is economic should be? To remove the unemployment and the poverty, what the economy should be. This is the role of normative economics when we analyze the economic in perspective of normative way. So it evaluates the desirability of the alternative outcome based on one's value judgment, what is good or what is bad. So normative economics is loaded with judgment. So in normative economics, there is a number of judgment is there. So it is loaded with judgment. For example, what is good for one may not be the case for the other. So normative analysis is a matter of opinion or subjective in nature which cannot be proved or rejected with reference to the fact. So there is a debate in normative economics. For example, the poor should pay no tax. Some group agree on this sentence, some group disagree on this sentence. For example, those poor peoples are agree the poor should be not pay no tax. But the people who are living in moderate or middle levels disagree on these sentences. The poor should be, or every citizen should pay tax. There is a matter of opinion of the people. There is a need for intervention of government in the economy. So again, this is the opinion. So in general, if there is an opinion on a given economics idea that judgment is known as, or that analysis, normative economic analysis, if there is no judgment or yeah, if there is no judgment, there is no, that is a positive economics analysis. In normative economics analysis, any disagreement on alternative system can be solved by voting. By voting. So by voting, you can the stated normative statement can be accepted or rejected. Another one is inductive and deductive reasoning economics. What is inductive and deductive reasoning in economics? So economic theory provide a basis for economic analysis which is logical reasoning. There are two methods of logical reasoning, inductive and deductive reasoning. In inductive reasoning, logical method of reaching at correct general statement or theory based on several independent and specific correct statement is inductive reasoning. So it is a process of driving principle or theory by moving from fact to theories and from particular to general economic analysis is inductive reasoning. So collecting what theory, we collect theory, facts. Then we go to what? The general statement or general economic analysis. So this is inductive reasoning. So we collect specific statement or correct statement. Then depending on this specific correct statement, we can conclude or we can reach the general statement. So such type of reasoning is inductive reasoning. Inductive reasoning. For deductive reasoning, it is reversed to inductive reasoning. A logical way of arriving at a particular or specific correct statement starting from correct general statement. In the before or in inductive reasoning, We start from specific correct statement to general statement. In deductive reasoning, in deductive reasoning, we start from general correct general statement to correct specific statement. So it is opposite deductive and inductive reasonings are they are opposite in the way we analyze this. Another point is the most important topic scarcity, choice, opportunity cost, and the production possibility frontal. Uh, Here, what is scarcity? Can scarcity and the shortages are similar? What is scarcity? Do you think that it is different from shortage? What? Definitely, the scarcity and the shortages are not similar, or they are not similar. Here, scarcity means the fundamental economic problem that any human society faces is scarcity. Scarcity. Any human society faces scarcity. So scarcity refers to the fact all economic resources that society need to produce a goods and a service are finite or limited in supply. So their being limited should be explained in relation to one. So scarcity reflects the imbalance between our want and the mean to satisfy those wants. So our wants are limited by what? By our ability to purchase. Ability to purchase. So scarcity is the continuous problem. The continuous problem. That is the imbalance between our wants and the means to satisfy those wants. The means to satisfy those wants. So the economic resource that a society needs to produce goods and the service are finite or limited in supply. But our wants are what? Are limited. Our human wants are unlimited, but resources are limited. Resources are limited. So there is imbalance between human wants and the resource available or the means to satisfy those wants are unbalanced or imbalance. So we can categorize resource into two main types, free resource and scarce or economic resource. When we say resources are free, for example, these resources are free, we can say most of the time. When so in economics, what is free resource and scarce or economic resource? So free resource in economic sense, a resource if the amount available to a society is greater than the amount people desire at zero price. So almost everything has price and purchased by some prices. So if the human want is if the available resource is greater than the human want is at its zero price is known as free resource. Free resource. If the available resource is greater than the human want is at zero price, then that type of resources are free resource. For example, sunshine is free resource because the price of or the available of sunshine is greater than what? The zero price. Zero prices. So the amount we need desire at zero price for sunshine is greater than the available, sorry, less than the available sunshine. So such type of resources are free resource. Such type of resources are free resource. For example, clean water is not free resource because we pay the price for clean water. We pay. For example, in rural area, maybe the amount of available waters and clean water available maybe greater than the people desire at zero price. But clean water in urban area has prices. So the amount of water, the amount of clean water available in the urban area is less than the people want at zero prices. So such type of prices resources are what? Free resource. So clean water is not a free resource. When we say scarce resource or economic resource is a resource said to be scarce or economic resource when the amount available to society is less than what people want to have at zero price. For example, I want to have at a zero price for a given commodity. For example, if you want the land, fertile land at zero price, the available fertile land at zero price is much less than its price, much less than the zero price. Everybody want at zero price fertile land. This fertile land is not balanced with the human want at zero prices. The human want at zero prices. So such type of resource is scarce resource. To clarify this scarce resource and a free resource, for example, if this X resource is there, if X resource is there, and if its price is zero, if its X price is zero, then the available of this resource X is greater than the human want at zero price, then such type is free resource. If the available resource X is less than the human want at zero price is known as scarce resource. Let's convert this into mathematics. Let's say X is resource, X resource, X resource. The price, this is the amount of X, this is resource, let's say a resource, any type of resource. Resource, sorry, this is a resource. And the price of this resource at zero price is equals to this X at zero price. This is the price of this X, or let it is better if we say QX. Q of X at zero price is equals to Q of X at zero. Sorry, let's clarify this one more mathematically. Say, let's clarify. Let's say this is Q of X at price equals to at its price equals to 0 is equals to X. X. And the available resource, or sorry, let's say people so want this at zero price x amount of commodity. If the available resource is y, if the available resource is y, then if x is means the amount of people want at zero price is x is greater than the available resource, then such type of resource is scarcity. If x is less than, if the people want at zero price is less than the resource available y, Then such type of resource is free resource. Free resource. So free resource jechuun gatii zeeroo irratti fakkeenyaaf guma tokko otoo hin kaffaliin wanti nuyi barbaannu, wanti nuyi arginu, wanti jiru, wanta nuyi barbaannu ol yoo ta'e free resource. Namni kamiyyuu dhaqee free fayyadamuu danda'a. Maaliif walitti bu'iinsi hin jiru jechuudha. Wal saamuun hin jiru jechuudha free resource jedhama. Maaliif hamma nuyi barbaannu olitti jira jechuudha. Yoo kana jiraate maal jenna? Free resource jenna. Wal saamuun hin jiru jechuudha. Gatiin isaa zeeroo piraayisii irratti nam tokko homaatti hin baasin firii dhaqee kan fudhatu yoo ta'e maal jenna kana free resource jenna. Scarce resource kan jennu immoo maalidhaa? Resoursiin sun jiruu fi namni zeeroo piraayisii irratti barbaadu otoo birrii isaa amma fakkeenyaaf otoo gatiin risoorsii sana ikoonoomik risoorsii sanaa otoo zeeroo ta'ee hammam barbaada. Fakkeenyaaf otoon 10 barbaadan ta'ee otoo 10 barbaada ta'ee fakkeenyaaf zeeroo birrii 10 let's say given commodity at 10 birr otoon 2 unitiin barbaada ta'e 20 unitiin barbaada ta'e gatiin isaa immoo zeeroo yeroo ta'u meeqan barbaada ta'a fakkeenyaaf inni 20 ta'e kun zeeroo yeroo ta'u yookaan 2000 ta'uu danda'a. Maaltu limitii na godheera maddoo kanarratti? Piraayisiin limitii na godhee jira jechuudha. Kanaaf namni hunduu maal ta'a jechuudha? Piraayisiin isaa yeroo gadi bu'u fedhiin namni barbaadu maal ta'a? Ol ka'a. Yoo maateriyaaliin jiru sun yookaan risoorsiin jiru sun gatii piraayisiin jiru sana zeeroo irratti jiruutii gadi yoo ta'e maal jenna isa kana? Iskaarsi risoorsii jenna jechuudha. Iskaarsi risoorsii jenna. Maaliif namni eegee argachuu hin danda'u gatii zeeroo piraayisii irratti yoo ta'e zeeroo namni hunduu fedhii isaa qaba yoo ta'e wanti sun immoo hin jiru yoo ta'e inni kun maal jenna? Iskaarsi risoorsii jennee ibsuu dandeenya. Fakkeenyaaf human resource, manual, intellectual skill or specialized labor. Such type of resources are scarce resource or economic resource. Fakkeenyaaf fertile land amma fakkeenyaaf otoo gatiin isaa zeeroo ta'e if the price of fertile land is zero then everybody is want this fertile land. But this fertile land is not balanced with the zero price. The woman want at zero prices. Minerals, clean water, forest, wild animal, all these are types of scarce resource. Limited jechuun namni hundi otoo zero price ta'e namni hundi yeroo itti fayyadamuu kan danda'u yoo ta'e nama hunda waliin ga'u yoo ta'e wanti kun maal ta'a? Scarce resource dha jechuudha. Scarce resource. So in general economic resource warra jedhaman arfan kanadha. What are labor, land, capital, and the entrepreneur or skill. So labor refers to physical as well as mental effort of human being in the production and distribution of goods and service. Otoo laboriin amma paymentii waan jiruuf maalidha? Wage kaffalama jechuudha. Zeeroo naan namni hin hojjetu laborii jechuudha. There is reward for labor is wage. Again, land refers to natural resource or the free gift of nature usable in the production of goods and service. Again, the reward for service for land is rent. Rentii fudhata jechuudha. Rentii kaffalama. Capital refers to all manufactured input that can be used to produce other goods and the service. For example, equipment, machinery, transport, communication facility. All these are capital. Entrepreneur is special type of human talent that helps to organize and manage other factors of production to produce goods, service, and takes risk of making loss. So this is the definition for the entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship take risk of making loss. Not only have the ability to organize and manage other factors of production, it also take risk of making loss. This is what is an entrepreneur. So the reward for entrepreneurship is profit. Profit. So all these four are examples of economic resource. When we say economic resource, in other words, these are scarce resources. So labor, land, capital, and entrepreneurs are all are scarce or economic resources. So when we define scarcity does not mean shortage. Scarcity does not mean shortage. We have already said that good is said to be scarce if the amount available is less than the amount people wish to have at zero price. But we say that there is shortage of good and the service when people are unable to get the amount of they want. At a given price line, there is a shortage of commodities there at a zero at a given price. Or on going price line, there is a shortage of commodity. So shortage is specific and a short-term problem, but scarcity is universal and a everlasting problem. So, for example, at a given price or at going price, there is a shortage of transport. For example, from Addis Ababa to a given city, for example, from Addis Ababa or to Hamburg, let's say if the transportation is 300 per. So there is shortage of transport or vehicles that move from Ambo to Addis Ababa or from Addis Ababa to Ambo. At what? At 300 bir. There is shortage. But at a zero price, at a zero price, because most of the people want to move from Addis Ababa to Ambo. So there is no vehicle that afford this those people that want to move from Addis Ababa to Ambo or between Addis Ababa and Ambo at zero prices, so they can't. So this problem is an everlasting problem, not not for a duration of time, not for a duration of time. So scarcity is universal problem and a everlasting problem, but shortage is specific and a short-term problem. For example, if the government of that area supply a number of vehicles, then the shortage of transportation can be solved. But any government or any organization can't solve the problem of scarcity because scarcity is everlasting problem. It is an everlasting problem. So these are the difference between scarcity and shortage. Scarcity and shortage.